Welcome into Endzone Week 12 Playoff Edition. We got plenty of highlights from Noxubee County versus Jefferson Davis County. Tupelo and Lewisburg. Tupelo trying to keep their undefeated season going. And New Hope and Canton. Plenty of those highlights and more. Stick around. We've got a great show for you on Endzone.
WCBI Sports Endzone Show with Carlo Barone is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota, Fastnet, powered by Ford County, Scruggs Farm Lawn and Garden in Tupelo, nothing runs like a deer, and Clark Beverage Group.
Welcome into Endzone Week 12 Playoff Edition. I'm Carlo Braun. I'm joined by Marcus Hunter.
Hey, what's up, man?
It's been a good. Hey, we got a lot of good scores here, a lot of good games, a lot of blowouts, but plenty of exciting stuff on this episode of Endzone.
Absolutely.
I think we'll start with the game of the week between Noxubee County and Jefferson Davis County.
WCBI's High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota in Columbus.
Here's that 2024 Toyota Prius. That thing was beautiful, and let me tell you, it roars both with the volume and the speed. Not to say I was speeding on live television or anything, but it goes fast and it picks up quickly. Get yours today at Carl Hogan Toyota. Now moving on to the game of the week between Noxubee County and Jefferson Davis County. 0-0 here, 4th and goal for the Jaguars. They are going to be stuffed on the right sideline. Tigers celebrating that. In comes Kamario Taylor. His offense on the field, but it's not him actually. It's going to be Ladarian Mosley up the gut, in for the touchdown, breaking the 0-0 tie break. They would go up 6-0 after a missed extra point. Teddy Young, not too happy about that, but happy with how his offense is playing, clearly here. The 4-star recruit, Kamario Taylor, breaks about 6 tackles. My ankles are sore watching that. And of course, Jeff Levy sure is happy with that. Jaguars trying to get some life. Nice gain up the middle, but their offense would fall to Noxubee County 31-6.
All right, Tupelo taking on Lewisburg in the 7A playoff matchup. Second quarter, Golden Waves. Kylan Bobo plunges into the end zone for the score with extra point was good. 35-0 Tupelo at that point. Lewisburg trying to get something going on 4th and long, but the pass is incomplete. And there's going to be a turnover on down. Yeah, he was just trying to get out of there, and they did not get anything done. But then a little bit later on, next play, Bobo hands off, and, he's going to go all the way to the end zone. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Had enough time to say that because his touchdown was the mostest. Touchdown right there, and Golden Wave go up 42-0. Once again, Lewisburg looking deep, but Mason Dunn with the interception, and that will pretty much do it. It was already done. Hey, Dunn, got it done. Final score, 48-7. Tupelo with the win.
Looking at some more scores here. We've got Oxford losing to Germantown 43-34. Starkville getting a nice comeback win. Shaky end of the regular season, 44-14. Looking at an updated bracket here, Germantown will face Madison Central in the 7A quarterfinals next Friday. Moving on to Warren Central and Saltillo here in a second. We have a rematch actually between Starkville and Tupelo as well. I missed that. But we have Warren Central and Saltillo. It is 37-0. I don't really know how we got here, but here we are. Nash Morgan is going to find Jarius Miller for the 10-yard touchdown. On a botched snap, Morgan is going to keep it himself, go down the right sideline, and turns a bad snap into a touchdown. Just how the coach drew it up, I'm sure. Morgan back to pass again, throws a perfect dime to Jalen Winters. He's in for the touchdown, and they're just pouring it on him. Morgan again, Eric Collins Jr., walk-in touchdown. Never a doubt. Morgan is going to continue his nice day. He's going to find Maddox Lynch, who gets this touchdown, but also, more importantly, a school record. Put his name on the wall there. And Warren Central would dominate in this one, 43-0 over Saltillo. Look at more scores from around the area. Grenada over Callaway, 35-0, a donut for them. And now looking at the updated 6A bracket, Grenada is going to play Natosha Central. Central, excuse me. In the quarterfinals, Warren Central moves on with their win against Salt Hill. They're going to play South Panola in the 6A quarterfinals.
All right, let's get you to New Hope, where the Trojans were at home after not winning a game last year, hosting a playoff game this year. That's what you call big. But early on in this one, running back Jacob Jefferson with a 10-yard run. And then a little bit later, New Hope quarterback Tyrekus Brooks finds Lonnie Ship. And Ship gets the 15-yard catch right there. And then the New Hope quarterback Tyrekus Brooks, he's going to keep it himself and go right up the middle for the 5-yard score. And then what do when you score in New Hope? You shoot off fireworks, of course, because they're in the county. And in the county, that might be legal. I don't know. Please, someone check me on that. Call the scholars out there. All right, a little bit later, Canton quarterback Eric Gilkey III finds Jaden Crichton the first, and he makes a nice catch for a first down, 25-yarder right there. And then Canton running back Joseph Gray, 2-yard touchdown run. And then New Hope's quarterback Tyrekus Brooks is like, hey, I can do the same thing, but I'm going to make mine longer than 2 yards. I'm going to make it 25 yards for the touchdown run. Unfortunately for New Hope, they would not be able to get a win in this one. The Trojans fall in a very high-scoring game to Canton, 50-41. Canton moving on. New Hope season is over.
Hope you had the over in that one. We're far from over. We got Louisville Amory highlights. Shannon Kosciuszko.
Let's go.
Excuse me. In Itawamba, New Albany. All that and plenty more on Endzone. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Endzone. We will start in Itawamba when they took on New Albany. Two teams are very familiar with each other, so we got to definitely have some fireworks here. John Austin Wood is going to throw deep, hits a dime to Cade Miller for the touchdown. Extra point is good. Itawamba, nice start, 7-0. Itawamba defense is going to have nowhere to go for Eli Neighbors. They get the sack. They get the TFL. Those are tackle for loss for those of you at home. And Itawamba would go on to win this one. New Albany would actually go on to win this one, 40-30.
All right, let's get you to some scores now. In Cleveland Central losing to Pontotoc. Final score in that one, 31. Warriors, Cleveland Central, 13. Pontotoc getting the victory. All right, next score for you have West Point taking on Yazoo City, 41-0. West Point, your winner. Big win for the Green Wave to start off the playoffs. And then in the bracket, you have Cleveland Central moving on after their win over Pontotoc, and Canton moving on after their big win over New Hope tonight. So, all right, let's get you to the Kingdom once again, where Houston was playing ball against West Lauderdale and Houston Hilltoppers in this one. The game was a stalemate for most of the first half, but positive is Travion Mosley finding the hole and breaking into Houston territory. That man is running like he's mad at people. All right, a little bit later in the second, the Knights would finally catch a break as a misread from the Hilltoppers leads to Javion Wilson pouncing on the rock to give West prime field position after that fumble. And then through trial and error, West would finally find the promised land, thanks in part to Caden Peoples punching it in on a fourth down play. And, they would score a few more times. Houston only got in the end zone once, so that means Houston falls in this one. Final score is West Lauderdale 25, Houston 7.
Going out to Louisville, where they hosted Amory Wildcats in the second round of the 4A playoffs. Second quarter, Louisville leading 21-7. Zayden Jurgenin on the QB keeper breaks tackle, and he's in, extends the lead 28-7. And after an Amory 3-and-out, Louisville going to get a nice gain. He's got to fight for the first down. Xavier Hunt, nice catch and gain, move the chains. Later on, first and goal, Zarian Haynes, right side, toss pitch. He's in for the score. Point after the touchdown is good, and Louisville would extend their lead 35-7, and they would end up winning 58-7. Big win for them.
All right, Shannon, the Red Raiders taking on Kosciuszko. Whip it early on in this 4A playoff game. Red Raiders trailing 7-0, making a great defensive stop right here on fourth down to get the ball back. But then Shannon quarterback Trayshawn Spurgeon with a quick toss to Omarion Wilson, and Wilson is going to go down right there after a short gain. Spurgeon, that is, drops back to pass this time, but then he decides he's just going to keep it, do a little football fake like Patrick Mahomes does, goes down the sideline, tippy-toe, then getting out of bounds for the first down. Then Spurgeon again. This time he's actually going to throw the football to DeGarius Clifton, and Clifton is left wide open, and he goes in for the end zone for the score. Final score in this one, 29-20. Shannon getting the win. All right, so let's check out what's going on with that particular bracket. Shannon with the win over Kosciuszko. They move on to the next round, and they'll face West Lauderdale after getting the big victory over Houston.
Louisville over Amory, and now they will play New Albany next week in 4A quarterfinals. More on Endzone. We've got Choctaw County Winona, the rematch. District game. Got to be some bad blood there. Boonville, Rosa Fort, another good game there. And we'll finish with Calhoun City, Eupora. We got plenty more games. Stick around on Endzone. Welcome back to Endzone. We head to Choctaw County where they took on Winona in a district rematch here. Early on for Choctaw County, Jeremiah Miller, who's normally pretty good, coughs it up. And the Winona defense of a fast start on the road. Winona looking to answer off the turnover. Nash is going to get down the right sideline. He's going to take it in. He's going to burn the Choctaw County defense, and they're going to go up 7-0. I'm sure that crowd was stunned. But as inevitable as it is, Choctaw County back on offense. KJ Cork is going to launch this ball to Caleb Cunningham, the newly flipped Ole Miss recruit. Is going to take this 81 yards to Oxford, to the house. They're going to score, and that must have lit their offense on fire with those lights, because Choctaw County would get a big win over Winona, 41-27. Looking at some more scores around the area. Aberdeen over Independence, 44-28.
All right, let's get you to Boonville versus Rosa Fort. In Boonville, 7-4. Rosa Fort, 6-4. Playoff winner, go home. All right, early on this one, quarterback Kylan Poindexter drops back to pass. He's going to be sacked by James Nesby, the defensive lineman, getting some love right there. Then Boonville cheer team, they're like, yeah, we love that. Later, Boonville quarterback Jack Sandelin throws a screen pass to Zion Nunn for the 15-yard scamper. Boonville band, they're loving it too. Then Boonville quarterback Sandelin drops back to throw, and this time he's going to be picked off by Robert Boyd of Rosa Fort, and Rosa Fort would go on to win this game in the shutout. Final score 22-0. Rosa Fort moving on to the next round.
Get you more updates from how the bracket looks here. Rosa Fort, their win over Boonville, is going to play Choctaw County and Caleb Cunningham in the 3A quarterfinals. East Webster's win over Humphreys County has them playing Aberdeen in the quarterfinals as well. Noxubee County, their win over Jefferson Davis County, they're going to play Seminary in the 3A quarterfinals. A lot of area teams in the 3A, man. It's going to be a competitive division, definitely one of the more competitive ones in the state of Mississippi. East Webster over Humphreys County, 34-16. Lumberton over Nanawoya, 27-0. Yeesh. Baldwin with a big win over Faulkner, 49-13. Now we are going to head out to Calhoun City where they hosted Eupora in a 2A district playoff game here. Calhoun City's Zay Pittman is going to throw to Zay Fox. One-handed catch. Wow. It would make it 22-0 Calhoun City. They're rolling early. Eupora back on offense. Peyton Perkins is going to throw here to Jackson Knight. He's going to get tackled, but beyond the sticks, you know what that means. That's a first down. 3rd and long here, though. They're backed up. Peyton Perkins is going to, can't find anyone. He's going to keep it, go up the middle, break a few tackles, get a big gain here, leading up to a 4th down here against a stout Calhoun City defense. Perkins is going to roll it to his right, and they are stopped. And it would be all Calhoun City from that point on. They blank Eupora 38-0. Now looking at the updated bracket, we have Calhoun City moving on with their win over Upora. They're going to play Charleston in the 2A quarterfinals next week. Stick around, we have plenty more on Endzone coming at you. More highlights, more scores. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Endzone. We're going to start things off for this part with Vardaman taking on Coffeyville, potatoes versus coffee. All right, early on in this one, Coffeyville, 4th down, trying to punt the ball, and they would fumble. Vardaman lineman Kipton Jones recovers it for a touchdown. Yeah, the lineman getting a touchdown. That's probably going to be his first, maybe only one of his career. That hardly happens. All right, a little bit later, Vardaman offense quarterback Brady White rolls out and throws to Xavier Kimball for the deep pass and the completion. Very nice pass and catch right there. And then a little bit later on for Vardaman, we're going to see, after a little dance and a little show and tell, yeah, we got the first down. Bryson Moore is going to go with the reverse and even faking out the cameraman, and then the cameraman catches him, but nobody's going to catch him from getting into the end zone. That is a touchdown score by Moore. Score at that point, 21-0. Vardaman goes on to win this game. The potatoes, sweet potatoes, taking down Coffeyville 48-6. All right, let's get you to some more scores. And Myrtle taking on Biggersville. Myrtle with the big win, 49-22. Strayhorn and West Lowndes, the Panthers going on the road and getting a big win over Strayhorn. Panthers keeping their season alive. And then Simmons at Noxapater. And as a matter of fact, before that game, let's get you to the brackets involving moving on to face Vardaman into the next round of the playoffs after their wins. All right, next score we have for you is another bracket. Strayhorn.
West
moving
Lowndes
on.
Moving on.
Yeah, Strayhorn and West Lowndes moving on. Then we have Fife taking on Gordo. Fife with the 42-14 win over that one. And then we know Fife is moving on to the next round in that particular bracket. The Sulligent taking on Southeastern. Sulligent, Alabama with the win, 38-24 over Southeastern.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of playoff action there, a lot of blowouts. Like we said earlier, a lot of close games. So what you'd say, what you'd expect in the first round?
Yeah, you would expect to see a lot of blowouts in the first round of the playoffs, and not because the teams are just that different from each other, but because you have some teams that have gone undefeated during the regular season, or even going undefeated during their district play. And you have other teams that barely made it into the playoffs, had the scrap to get in. And sometimes you can see a bit of a disadvantage there. That's how, Tupelo got a big win tonight. West Point got a big win tonight because of situations like that. So not very uncommon to see that happen in the first round of the playoffs. However, there were also some really good, really close games. I mean, that New Hope game, 50-41, the
Hope
final
you had
score.
the over.
Exactly. I mean, for the fans who went to that game, they were in for a treat, especially after this New Hope team did not make the playoffs at all last season. So it was great to see them get back in the playoffs, and also great to see them play a great game as well.
And it adds to their postseason experience. Like you said, not a single win last year. You almost have to teach your team how to win. And especially, getting the playoffs is not something they probably imagined that they would be doing a year removed from an 0-10 season. But you talked about stumbling into the playoffs and teams that kind of showed it. But one of those teams that stumbled in but actually won their game on the road, Starkville. I think they had a great performance tonight.
Yeah, Starkville with a great performance going down to Kosciuszko. going down to
Horn Lake.
Kosciuszko, going up to Horn Lake and getting the win over Horn Lake. And for Starkville to be able to do that after the season that they've had, it shows that playoff experience does matter. A lot of those players on that team, they played for a state championship last year. They've been consistently in the playoffs, making deep runs. So the only thing that matters once you get in is that you win and advance. And Starkville managed to get in, and all the other teams that are in their district probably are wishing they didn't get in, because now that they're there, they have the experience to probably make a deep run.
Another team I wanted to highlight, Calhoun City, man. Their defense continues to play well, and it almost looked better tonight when they had playoff ball in front of them. Single digits again on the scoreboard for the opposing team. They're moving on, man. They're a team to watch out. Vardaman as well. Like, everyone talks about Tupelo being undefeated, which obviously they're the big 7A monster that is definitely one of the teams mixing it in for the state contention. But Vardaman, man, now 11-0, matching their record. They're making some noise.
Yeah, Vardaman is making some noise, and another team that wouldn't be surprised to see if they make it to a state championship as well. Especially like you said, their defense playing extremely well, and so with Vardaman to be able to get that big win over Coffeyville tonight, that was a huge confidence boost for that team to know, okay, we are who we think we are because we just beat a playoff team and beat them handily.
Yeah, and I think when you win out the whole regular season and you almost don't have a adversity in your regular season because you've won all the games, I think it helps getting maybe a closer game. But Vardaman refuses to have those close games, which almost is a good sign because then it shows they have no weakness. And that's a testament to their coaching, especially their defensive scheme and defensive coordinator. I think definitely one of the big performances on tonight. We got to talk about Tupelo here, man. They're on a roll this year. We've talked about this before during Sports Talk. Tupelo is that one team that they're always very good, but once you get to the postseason, maybe you see some cracks in the iron there. But so far, so good for there.
Yeah, so far, so good for Tupelo. I mean, playing on the blue turf, like you said, they've been knocking on the door. Is this the year that Tupelo finally kicks down the door and gets to a state championship and gets it done and finally get a chance to win the state championship game? But I know, we've had some great games tonight, but we also had some great plays as well.
I think so, too. And our Fastnet speed play is who else than the newly Ole Miss transfer, Caleb Cunningham, on this 81-yard electrifying touchdown for the Chargers. Oh, wow. I didn't even notice. What a block there at the end. He took out his man, Caleb Cunningham. Man, he is spectacular.
And Dave stood tall like he knew he was somebody. Check him out.
Look at him. He's hyped. He's hyped to be an Ole Miss Rebel for sure. What a play.
Let's check this out again. I want to see this one more time. See that block you're talking about.
Oh, man, you got whoever that was. I couldn't see the number, but they.
Oh, then the quarterback's like directing him.
Watch this.
Boom! All right, yeah, that's what you got to do.
He gave him the boom there. It's what he does.
Yeah, that's our Fastnet play.
The Fastnet Speed Play is brought to you by Fastnet, powered by 4 County. Fast, affordable internet service from the people you know.
Thank you for tuning in to Endzone. We have plenty more highlights and more playoff action next week.
WCBI Sports Endzone Show with John Sokoloff and Grace Ibarra is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota. Fastnet, powered by 4 County. Scruggs Farm Lawn and Garden in Tupelo. Nothing runs like a deer. And Clark Beverage Group.